multitude of racing options in Grand Theft Auto Online. You can race on land, in the water, and even in the air. In fact, there are two different types of air races, a helicopter race and an airplane race. But racing in the air is not quite as simple as driving a car, so let's take a look at some tips to help you win those airplane races against rival crews. First and foremost, know the route you're flying. The landscape, or airscape if you will, is the primary determining factor in the selection of your airplane. For example, the downtown run that you're seeing here is littered with buildings, skyscrapers, and other objects that will require sharp turns and quite a bit of agility in your aircraft. The Mallard would be the plane of choice in this scenario. It turns on a dime and brakes well, making it ideal for flying between the buildings of downtown Los Santos. Once you've decided on a plane, there is one big difference between racing a car on land and racing an airplane. If you bump a little bit during a street race, you might spin out, but you can get back on the road relatively fast. If you bump into another plane, that won't be the case. At best, your plane can be damaged and fly much slower. If this happens, it's best to crash and just get a fresh plane as quickly as possible. In the worst case, you'll collide with another plane or a building and simply explode. This will respawn you into a new plane in roughly the same spot you originally crashed. When flying between buildings, use the L1 and R1 or left and right bumpers to make sharp turns. You won't lose much airspeed doing this, so anytime you need to make a sharp turn, make sure you use the shoulder buttons for assistance. In addition, most of the time you won't need to worry about flying through the center of the various targets. You can even fly through them upside down or sideways. As long as your plane makes contact with the target, it will count and you'll be directed to the next checkpoint. Try to stay low to the ground to avoid as much turbulence as possible. You'll also avoid most of the other planes, and you can sometimes get better speeds if you stick close to the ground. Just be careful of telephone wires and other low-hanging objects. Keep in mind, most of the other players will be flying quite high, and that's where a lot of the collisions are going to be taking place, so staying low could keep you safe as well. That about does it for this round of GTA Online tips. Stay tuned to Prima Games for more cheat codes, tips, and in-depth guides.